Alright folks, welcome back. Every day I show you another successful gold stake run. I put the seed in the video description so you can play it yourself before you listen to my 20-minute monologue about the first shop. This is Balatro every day, and today we're playing Zeno's favorite combination. It's gold stake plasma deck. It's good for you, it builds character. I also feel the need to say if you have video ideas, some folks put suggestions in the comments. I do see them, and a lot of time I do like the ideas. I'll say, oh, okay, well that's a good video idea, that's something that should exist, but I don't necessarily have the time to do it myself. What's nice about these daily gold stake videos, I can do multiple videos in the same day sometimes without any prep, of course. Rough gem for money could take Crafty Joker. So on the plasma deck, we are looking for sources of chips. Crafty Joker could be a source of chips, but it's a rental, which I'm a little bit wary of. I think I like Rough Gem. The boss is going to debuff my diamonds. So we're not going to get any money against this boss, but we don't have to worry about that in the future. Maybe I take both. Maybe I leverage the money from the Rough Gem to pay for the rental Crafty Joker. I think the grabber is very strong, and I would like to get the grabber. Is there a way we can get the grabber? Probably if we don't take Crafty Joker. I think we probably should take Crafty Joker, but we can't afford it, so I guess we go next. Definitely we take Rough Gem, for sure. Here I can go for a Diamonds Flush. Did not get the flush. Let's play High Card Queen. Alright. Took us 2 hands, but we gained $5. Plus interest. Baseball card, I probably want the grabber instead. Take the voucher. Go next. And on the plasma deck, we generally don't open the early booster packs or the early buffoon packs because there's not a lot of jokers that we can get. Or not a lot of jokers that are actually relevant. Alright, we can do clubs. Mad Joker could be Telescope. Telescope flushes. That sounds like something I want to do. Alright, let's do that. Alright, here let's go clubs first. We know the clubs flush doesn't win, and we can follow up with a diamonds flush. Okay, I could, and maybe this is slightly cheeky, I could play the straight. No, the straight wins. That's fine. Rather than going for the diamonds flush. Alright, Saturn. We could play straights, honestly. And on the plasma deck, I do generally like that idea. Rather than playing flushes. So take a Saturn card. Saturn card because it gives us twice as many chips as the flushes. If you have twice as many chips on the plasma deck, you score 4 times as many points. Instead of playing 2 flushes per round, we can play 1 straight, which scores the same as 4 flushes. In that case, let's go next. With the leveled up straight, I can discard the diamonds, try to get a 10. We do get the 10. Now I can try to get either another king or another 8. Okay, missing on the straight, a little bit unfortunate. Alright, there's the straight that has 4 diamonds. Great, so most played hand flushes and straights are even. Boss gonna debuff my spades. Okay, for sure I want the telescope. Telescope takes me down to 21 bucks. I could open the Arcana pack also. Could be make a glass card, could be Priestess. I think between the two of those, I would rather try to get another Saturn card and not do Jupiter. Okay, let's go next. All right, to get the straight from here, we can discard the Jag. Okay, I need a 10. So maybe 8 and 7, we're supposed to discard both of those. And then get a 9. We do get the 9. Okay, so let's try... The leveled up straight wins. I just need to get an 8 or a king. There's the 8. There's the straight. Let's sell the Jupiter card so we get an extra $1 of interest. Alright, and then now that is our most played hand. Could take a runner. Yes. So I think I go Spectral Pack first. That way we can Hex, which probably doesn't matter, honestly. Bosses play 5 cards. We could skip for money. With the runner, do we take the Celestial Pack? I think we do. So with the telescope and the runner, we probably don't need any other jokers, basically. So all we care about is Celestial Packs. Maybe we take Neptune. Could be a straight flush at some point. We could try to make more diamonds. And Lovers kind of pays for itself if we make a card wild. Maybe, but I'm going to say no for now because it cost me $3 to do that. All right. Pretty close to a low straight. One more time. So the straight wins. All we got to do is get one straight. How about an 8 high straight? Cool. All right, could take a rocket here. So the thing that I'm thinking is, okay, as long as we can consistently play our straights, then we win. So what we want to think about is, okay, I probably don't need any scoring jokers. Probably what I do is I just take value generating jokers. So it could be rocket. Maybe we don't take the Arcana pack here. Take the rocket and go next. Okay. How about a king high straight? And I think this wins, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm not going to discard. You could discard and try to draw more diamonds. Okay, it's fine. I think with the upgrade on the runner, we can beat the boss in one hand. We could go Celestial Pack. Maybe here's a situation where you go Arcana first, try to get Hermit. If we don't get Hermit, we could go Priestess. We could make a gold card. We could just make more diamonds, and that's kind of the same as a gold card. Kinda. So maybe the middle cards, let's turn into diamonds. And then the Celestial Pack is guaranteed Saturn. I probably don't need the blank voucher in the sense that even if we do get the antimatter, even if we do get an extra joker slot, I don't know if there's that many jokers that I would even want on the plasma deck. And so maybe we just save our money. Go next. All right. I could... Probably best chance of getting a straight is throwing away the 2. And then I guess we can throw away the 5. Okay, I need a 9. I don't need this 8. We have the ace high straight. The ace high straight wins. All right, 18,000 in the next shot, or in the next round as well. The next round is 18,000, okay. Could take the Chad to re-trigger the rough gem, also extra chips, potentially. So, Chad for sure. Let's open the Arcana packs looking for Hermie. Could be Star to make more diamonds. Probably we should just remove cards. Probably 2 and 3 on the low end. We can hang them. And then this $6 Arcana pack. I think if I have Chad plus the rough gem, I think I can take this Arcana pack and I can get the $6 back in the next round. We can hang him again. So maybe 3 and 4 we hang him again on the low end. Sure, every time. If you want to play straights, you gotta hang them every time. Do we want the extra hand size to help us set up our straights? Potentially. I think I do take the hand size right away, because I think we can do some stuff with the rough gem this way. Okay, so now Queen. This, I don't want to play high card too many times because of the telescope, but I can play high card 9. I can play 2 pairs, 7s and 6s. And so this is what I was talking about. Taking the paintbrush, taking the extra hand size so that we could do something goofy here. Queen, Jack, 10, 9. Not quite a straight yet. I have a pair of aces I can play. I can throw away a jack. I can keep the 9 and the 6, or probably the safe thing to do is throw them away so that we can try to draw our straight. We can play a couple pairs. All right, 10, 9, 5, and 3. So this straight wins. We can play high card 5 just for the money. And we don't need the King of Hearts. We do need to play a straight and not a straight flush because of the telescope. Or maybe it's okay we play the straight flush one time. Probably it's okay one time. It's an extra $1. It's a $1 difference. Worth it. Alright. This boss says play only one type of hand. Alright, could be parking as another value generator. Is the parking gonna pay for the $6? Probably. Is this buffoon pack worth it? Probably not. Or maybe we do. I mean, we have money, we might as well. Might as well look. Hologram, I'm gonna say no. Todd is good for us, but maybe unnecessary. If we can just play our straights, I think we... Todd plus Chad is very powerful, I guess. Do I want Todd as a rental? We don't need it. Take barking though. Alright, so I guess here I'm expecting 2 hands, probably. I can play 7 as a high card. I need to draw a jack. I do draw a jack. Okay, so I have a straight, which probably wins. Let's discard. All right, how about this? Let's go. I can play this straight, expecting it to win. Instead of discarding, we could discard to get more face cards. We could discard to get more diamonds. What I don't want to happen is I don't want my telescope to get messed up. Okay, 30,000 for that straight. If we get a celestial pack, we can one-shot the boss. If we don't, do we want a photograph? Photograph is, of course, good with the chat. It's even better when you have level 6 straights and you have 19 molt. But they're both perishable, so maybe we do neither of those. Let's go buffoon packs for money. Green Joker, I'm gonna say no, we don't need that. Jumbo Buffoon, could be Golden Joker, could be reroll. The reroll is better than parking for the 1 round since we aren't going to be able to do that much parking anyway. Maybe we don't take Golden Joker here. So we get a free reroll. There's DNA. I could use DNA to copy diamonds and then use that to set up our straights. Maybe that could be very powerful. We could make some gold cards with DNA. I kind of like that idea. One potential issue is it does take up our Joker slots. Maybe I don't want to commit a Joker slot to DNA. Maybe. Maybe it messes up my telescope if I play high card for the DNA. Maybe. Maybe I'm gonna say no to DNA, but I will take the devil. Maybe we could do DNA. I don't think this is risky, but I think that's fine. I think it's fine that it's risky. I do want to get some kind of straight. So if I have 5, 6, 7, we can go for the mid straight. I need, what do I need? I need a 4, but we only have 3 4s. So I need an 8 and a 9. We do get the low straight. So we can't use DNA. I think we might save the devil and then that way we can use DNA in the future. Or do I just make the gold card now? Maybe make the gold card now. And we can find something interesting to copy with DNA later. Alright, now we can get... I need another 9, probably. I need another 9. So 8, 7, 9, 10, jack. This wins if I draw another 10. Alright, that's not going to happen. So put the 7 in front for the Chad. Alright, so we're kind of looking at like 35,000 per straight. So looking at the next round here, it takes 2 straights to win, and that's okay. This boss is a little bit spooky. Not getting any celestial packs is a little bit rough. The thing we need to do now is open Arcana packs. Looking for tarot cards. Alright, I can use the Hierophant on my diamonds. We can hang them again. So 5 and 2 on the low end, we can hang them. I could make a steel card as something to copy with DNA. I think it's better to just hang them. Now 46 cards on the deck. Could take Northern Lion instead of the Chad. So currently the Chad is a value generator. Maybe we take Northern Lion as a different value generator. I think I probably keep the Chad. Alright, now we need 2 straights. That's not true. We need at least 1 straight to get the runner scaling, and then we should be able to win with high card 4 times. But we can try to get something to copy with DNA. I can play this straight. I can copy the 7. So long term, I'm thinking Jack 10, 9, 8, 7. Maybe we copy the 7 of diamonds, the bonus card. I like that idea. Alright, then we can play this straight. And we don't want to play... We can play a pair. And then we can finish with... Pretty sure this straight wins. So if we play the pair... Then we can follow up with... this straight. That should be a little bit more than 30,000. 38,000. Okay. Next round, it is solidly 2 straights, though. Alright, we could take the photograph. No, we can't, because the Chad is perishable, and this is perishable too. We can take the chariot. Buffoon pack, I could look for a replacement for the Chad. I don't think the idol is the answer. Though, kind of funny with DNA. Alright, Arcana, we can reroll first. Looks inside. We can make some lucky cards. 9 and 8 we can make lucky. And go next. Alright, 2 straights. So previously I made another 7. Maybe here I want to make another 8. So like I said, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack. That would be ideal. So let's do that. And then we can make steel cards in the future too. So if I go this straight with the lucky card, this should not win. Even with the bonus 7, this should not win. Okay. And then now I can try to get another 10. We get a 10, we get an ace. I don't need the aces. Well, okay, the next hand we play wins no matter what it is. So I can discard this 9. I can play this straight. Or this straight, I guess, doesn't matter. Alright, with the chariot, do we want to use it? Do we want to hold it? We could hold it for the DNA, wait until we draw a card, and then steal it and then copy it. Maybe that's something that we want to do. Alright, with the Chad gone, we are going to score a little bit less points. Also, the boss is going to reduce our levels, which is not good. We can sell the Chad as a common. It has a chance of coming back. We'll take Devious Joker here. That probably does what we need it to do. Buffoon pack, I don't need a Bloodstone. Alright, before you go Arcana, we can reroll a little bit. Could be Emperor. And there's a Hungman. So 6 and 4, we can hang him again. Down to 48 cards on the deck. Sure. I'm not going to reroll yet because I want to use my tarot cards. Let's go next. So here I have the extra 7. I have an extra 8. I want to make 9, 10 Jack. I could make a steel Jack. I could copy the gold 10. Probably the steel doesn't matter yet. Probably the steel matters later. So maybe I copy the gold 10 first. Maybe I use the chariot on the Jack. And then the Emperor, try to get another Hungman. I could try to make some lucky cards, but maybe not yet. So we can copy the gold card. We could almost... Actually, we can play a straight flush. It's weaker than the straight, but only by a little bit. Let's go ahead and do that. And then if the straight flush gets D-leveled, I think that's fine. Great. And then we have a straight, which wins. We might be able to win without playing a straight, but I want to play the straight for the runner value, probably. Let's discard and try to find more diamonds. Alright, so I can make a lucky king, I can make a lucky jack, I can save the magician for my other diamonds. I think I'm okay using it here. Preserving the straight level is probably better. Probably. Oh well. Right, because you lose 30 chips, but then you gain 15 chips. But we do get potentially a little bit the telescope. We want to make sure that straights are our most played hand. Alright, we got plenty of money. We can take a crystal ball. We can reroll before opening the booster packs. This boss says face cards, or sorry, random cards face down. Go one more. Smear Joker, I don't have room, so I don't have room for Jokers. I could... Devious Joker is only 100 chips. I could swap out Devious Joker for the Drunkard extra discard so that I can play multiple straights. Probably we just keep rolling here. Wheel doesn't matter. Acrobat doesn't matter. Go one more. Could be a burger. Is bad with DNA, but kind of okay otherwise on the plasma deck, especially if you have a source of chips. I'm gonna say no burger here. Alright, $7, we can for sure go one more, but I don't think I want to go $8. We have a nice amount of money, but I want to save some money for the next shop. So I think I go Arcana first in case we get an Emperor. I get Strength instead. So I could strengthen a 5. I could make a bonus card. I could just use Priestess. I like the idea of using the Priestess. Maybe instead of the bonus cards. We get Neptune and Saturn. I will use both. Not a lot of Celestial packs. Alright, we have Cryptid. I can make more 10s or 9s. I'm short on 9s, so maybe it makes sense to make more 9s. Maybe I want to make a gold seal 9. Maybe I want to use Aura and make a foil 9. 50% chance foil, right? Probably, how are we doing on money? I think maybe the gold seal you could copy with DNA. I think I want to go Aura. Because if we have a lot of money, what do we do with the money? We re-roll in the shop. What do we get when we re-roll? Not a whole lot. So maybe we just go Aura on the 9. Foil is perfect for our plasma deck plan. All right, $8. We said we're not going to re-roll. Here, we're trying to play 2 straights. All right. So we have a straight. We want to use DNA to copy the foil 9. But we also want to make sure that we draw enough straights. So maybe it makes sense to just play the straight rather than using DNA. I think trying to use DNA is a little bit greedy. So we could discard once. 4 cards we can discard. All right. We could discard 3 queens and an 8. Sure. All right. And I think I just play this straight. No DNA here. All right, the next straight wins. I don't need a lot of jacks. I need to draw an 8 and a 10. I need to maybe... No matter what, we need a 10. So let's throw away the 7. All right. I can't really get a 6. I need to get the 10. Okay, we do get a 6. So I guess that changes things slightly. With the foil, we can actually just win here with 2 pair. I guess if I want to try to get a straight, it's again trying to get a 10 or a 5. Should we even try? Yeah, maybe. So throw away the 7. Throw away the extra 9. Maybe something like this. Any 10 or 5. We get the 5. Sure. Alright, if the next round is 180,000, it might take more than 2 straights, which is kind of bad actually. We really need those celestial packs, which we can't find. I can check a standard pack for a blue seal. Could be foil, king, or queen. I think foil king is out of range. I think I'm trying to play the jack high straights. I'm not trying to go any higher than that. So I think I skip the king here. Before we go arcana, we can do a little re-rolling. There's temperance and a star. If I want to play straights and not straight flushes, then maybe I can turn the low cards into diamonds, but maybe all of the jacks, I leave them as I don't change the suit, maybe. Go one more. Tower shouldn't matter. Priestess could matter slightly. Alright, we got Hermie. So how about I want to go jacks through 7s. I could do 10, 8, 6 into diamonds. I could do priestess. This stuff I don't care about. Maybe plutonium if we're going to be playing high card a couple times. If I get the money here, I can reroll one more time. Neptune's okay. $7 for a reroll, probably not. Alright, I do want to make a steel jack. So DNA here is great. Now for the straight, we can go for the 8 or the 3, even though I only have 2 3s. Let's try to get the 8. One more time. Alright, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Alright, the next straight wins if we can get a straight. So why don't we play these 2 8s? Why don't we play all the 8s and try to get a 10? If we get the 7, we don't have any 6s, so we need a 10 no matter what. We need to go for the 10, no matter what. 23 cards in the deck, there's the 10. So I can play this straight, which wins. I can play the pair of 9s first, which doesn't win, but it gives me $1. Sure. Alright, ace, king, queen, jack, 10. There we go. And the boss is face down cards. Alright, boss should be fine. 240 on the runner. Great. There's blue joker doesn't work because we have devious. We can go celestial pack. We can reroll first. Magician is something that I usually want to do, but maybe I already have enough enhanced cards. Maybe the magician doesn't matter. Maybe. Let's open the mega celestial pack. So guaranteed Saturn, and then there's some other nonsense in here. Maybe we take a Mars card. I should have taken the plutonium, I guess. I don't think it super matters. All right, Arcana, we can reroll. Jupiter, no. Hallucination, too late. Too late for that. All right, $6 for a reroll. I will go one more. Saki Busky. This could be extra chips. I guess it depends on what flavor face cards we have. I could make a glass jack And then that could be the kind of thing that we copy with DNA. I think it's a little bit dubious to get rid of Devious Joker. I think I'm a little bit scared of that. So maybe we just hang him. Maybe actually the kings we hang him. Or you could make a glass card. I think the kings we hang him, and then that'll improve our chances of drawing our straights. I need more. I need one more 9 in the deck. Kings we can remove. For the same reason that we removed the 2s and the 3s. Sure. Okay. So no sake busky, $7 maybe. No ramen. Alright. So not trying to get too fancy here. I maybe want to try to draw a 5. Maybe. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not going to use DNA because I think I need 3 straights is kind of rough. Right. Okay. Looking for a jack, and if I'm looking for a jack, we throw away the king. Alright. 7, 9, 10. Jack of diamonds. It doesn't... Maybe we get some slight benefit from holding it. Another 10 molt, maybe? Sure. Okay. Now it doesn't matter what we play. Now we can play a flush for the money. Alright, so that was 240. This boss is Hearts debuff. This is 220. So Celestial Pack for sure we want. Let me check the collection. I just used the Hung Man, so maybe we go Arcana first in case there's a Fool. We can overstock. Let's take the Moon. And then we get to overstock extra cards. Okay. Hologram. If we can get the hologram up to a ×5, then it would be better than Devious Joker. Otherwise, we just reroll here. Could be a Hung Man. In that case, Celestial Pack is okay. Guaranteed Saturn card is okay. I don't need the Earth. I can take the Hung Man. I don't need the Moon. We can take the Chariot. Alright, what do we want to make into steel? I think it mostly doesn't matter. So I can make a steel 8. Maybe aces we can hang them. And then I want to use death to make another 9, but we don't have another 9, so I could do another gold 10. I could make a steel 8. Maybe the steel cards could matter if we get high enough level straights. Maybe instead of making diamonds, we make a steel card. Maybe. I don't think we're going to get there with the straight flushes, though it is close. Go one more. Pool for death card. Okay, and we don't really need the star, but technically the star could give us more money. So maybe we take it for that reason. If I'm holding on to a death card, I don't reroll because I potentially want to reroll into another death card later. Alright. I have a straight. I can use DNA to copy a 9. I probably should copy a 9. And then after I copy a 9, I should use death to make another 9. Let's play a 9. Okay, I can turn a 2 into a 9. And then play this straight. Alright, so now we've got 6 9s, 6 8s. I want to make more 10s now. The next straight wins. We could discard the ace and the king. The steel cards don't matter. We can discard them. We have a straight, right? This is queen, jack, 10, 9, 8. So I'm just looking for more diamonds. I can make these into diamonds and then discard them. I can choose not to make them into diamonds. Okay. I forgot about doing rough gem. Anyway, I can play a pair of 8. Throwing away this jack, probably. And then with the star, king, queen, maybe jack, we don't make into diamonds. Maybe turn the rest of these into diamonds though. All right, so this straight instead of the straight flush, or we do play the straight flush. All right, I've played enough straights per round, multiple straights per round. I probably don't have to worry about the telescope. All right, we got plenty of money. There's a Neptune card I think I take. Maybe, just in case. Celestial pack. Maybe. Saturn's guaranteed. Buffoon pack. What could we be looking for? Not a hack. Extra hand size? Maybe. There exists a theoretical point where you sell Devious Joker and you just use the extra hand size to draw more straights more consistently. I don't know. Maybe not yet. We'll take a death card and then stop re-rolling. Go next. So what do we want to do with this death card? I mean, I do want more of these foil 9s. But I want to use death to make more 10s and more jacks. So here we don't have a straight, right? What we can do is we can discard the 10s. And then I can use DNA to make another 10. And if I want to play multiple straights, I'm going to need multiple 10s. So let's make a 10. And use death to make another 10. Just to make sure I don't run out of 10s. Probably. And so now it's 8, 9, 10, jack, queen. I guess I could play the king. Like that. Alright, so the next straight is 150,000, no problem. I can play this straight right away. I could discard for some more diamonds. I think doesn't matter. We just ship it. Okay. Alright, now we want to make more jacks and more 7s. There's a Saturn card. I guess I could look inside a standard pack. Don't need a king. Maybe there's still a chance we get a blue seal. No blue seal. We could just take a jack here. I think that's not wrong to just take a jack. And then use DNA to copy a 7 or a queen. Don't have room for Midas Mask. Death card. Let's go next. Okay, so I said I could copy a queen. I could copy a 7. I don't have to use DNA. But maybe I use it on a generic 7. Seems fine. I don't think I used the death card right of the way though. So I can play this straight. And I can save death for now my foil 9 would be best. Okay. I can discard the low cards. I could discard the king. This is slightly awkward. Because if I discard the sevens, I might not have enough sevens. We don't need the queens, probably. No tens, you say. So we only have 23 cards in the deck. We can throw away the queen. We can throw away 2 8s. I think we have to keep 2 sevens though. So play the 2 8s and try to get a 10. All right. So Jack, 10, 9, 8, 7 as a straight. Yes. Alright, we could take a bean. Boss says random joker disabled. The bean guarantees I get many straights. Probably that's the thing that I want to do. And we get an extra hand. Yeah, I think with Devious Joker, we can for sure sell it. Take the bean. I could take a 10. Or maybe I shouldn't take a 10. Could be a 6 or a queen or a jack. Maybe I'm willing to take a jack. And then go... I know I'm holding on to this death card. Maybe we can go one more. Cola, no, let's go next. Alright. So I do want to use death to maybe copy the steel cards now. So instead of foil, I could copy steel. Maybe we want to make a steel 8 now. I can use DNA to copy the steel 8. I can use death to copy the steel jack. Let's do that. So here's 7, 8, 9, 10 jack. Probably we should play the kings since we don't have that many kings or queens. Do this straight. Alright, we score fewer points because we got rid of Devious Joker, but it's okay because we can play more hands. Pretty easily. Maybe. We can keep the king and the queen. We can throw away the 3 and the 5. Maybe I don't... I only need 2 more straights. So I only need 2 sevens. I don't need the extra 8. Okay. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This shouldn't win. But what I can do is I can play this 7, which is weaker. And then it for sure doesn't win. And then I can use death to make the steel jack like we talked about. Alright, then now I do have a bunch of gold cards on the deck, so we could go king, queen, jack 10, or we don't play the 10. I have other 10s in the deck. 6, 7, 8. How about the 9? So we could do something like that and just discard the upper end. Alright, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a straight. We can discard. We can't discard anymore. We didn't draw the gold cards. That's a bummer. How about play this straight? All right. Okay. Juggler, no. Crazy Joker, no. Standard packs, maybe. I'm looking for glass cards. Foil 5 is not where I want to be. Glass 6 might be viable. Just barely. Could take the Chad. Instead of the bean, we could do the Chad with the glass 6. That probably does what we want. Instead of the bean. Okay. No room for the cat. Wheel doesn't matter. Earth, no. Plutonium, no. Alright, it's all very expensive rerolls. Let's go next. Alright, I can use DNA to make an extra 6. If it breaks, I'm real sad. Okay, and we should be able to win. If we get 50,000 for a high card, we definitely don't need the 6. We could discard it. We can discard the queens. And I should have enough jacks and 10s. I can discard 1 jack. I can discard 1 10. I need 8s. So we can discard... No matter what, we need the 8, so probably we discard the 6s. I can discard 1 7. Maybe 1 more 10, 1 more 7. No 8s is brutal, but we can still get there. We probably have to use a 9, keep a 10. Or... No, we have 5 hands. We for sure use the 10s. Alright. So this is not a straight. This is a straight flush, which is weaker. I could use the sun on a 6. And then play this straight with the bonus card so that it scores more points. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, jack. Once again, we play the straight with the bonus card. Okay. So 240,000 per straight. Against the boss, we need 3 straights, and we need one of them to have a glass 6. Okay. The celestial packs help a lot. Alright. Seltzer is worse than the Chad. Neptune is marginally useful. Probably if we end up playing a straight flush instead of a straight, probably we lose. Could be shortcut instead of the Chad. The benefit of the shortcut is we can play more straights. We can play 6 straights. The problem with the Crimson Heart is if the boss debuffs the runner twice, we lose. So the Chad plus the glass card is 8 times. And so that gives us another 200 chips on the straight. It's not that big. Maybe the glass card is not that big a deal. Maybe just take the shortcut. Though the steel cards make the glass card better. Gelato. If we believe in our ability to play straights, we take the gelato instead because it scores more points per hand. But I think the shortcut's better. Better than the troubadour. No room for judgment. Let's go next. Alright, shortcut disabled. That's actually okay. We can play 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Holding the foil. Maybe it doesn't matter. We play the foil. Okay. Runner disabled. So this hand doesn't score. We can play a straight, but it doesn't really score. If it's... the runner was like 450 chips, so twice as many chips is 4 times as many points. If we don't have the runner, then our straight is only worth 60,000. We probably shouldn't play a straight. We can look for... What do we need here? We need a 7. If we get the 7, we don't need the 6. Actually, what we need is a 10. We can play high card. Alright, DNA disabled. We could play 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen. And we just need one more of those. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can play this straight. Turns out we didn't need the shortcut. But that was because we drew particularly well. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was a tough one. I'll be honest, that was a tough one. And that's kind of how I feel about Plasma Deck in general. It's kind of tough, right? Part of that is, okay, you have the scoring requirements are twice as big. And, you know, maybe the Plasma Deck, the ability is supposed to help you with that a little bit. But one way to think about it is, okay, when I'm playing on the Plasma Deck, forget about chips and molt and whatever. Just play a normal game, play a normal, let's say, pair game plan, gold stake game plan, and just accept, okay, the scoring requirements are going to be twice as big. You could probably do that. There are some runs where you can definitely score twice as much as normal, right? The problem is, if we're playing on the Plasma Deck, we don't get the benefit of the blue deck or the money from the yellow deck, or you know, we don't get any of the normal deck benefits. We just have a higher scoring requirement. So maybe ignoring this is problematic. Maybe we can't ignore this. So what do we do instead? Well, the way you get ahead on the scoring requirements is it is easier to get chips than molt, in the sense that if we go to the collection here, you know, Jolly Jokers plus 8 molt, and then Sly Jokers plus 50 chips. And then the Plasma Deck turns 50 chips into 25 molt. It turns 8 molt into 4 chips. So between the two of these, you could just get Sly Joker. But I guess you're sort of limited. How many Jokers actually give you chips? And maybe there's not that many Jokers that actually give you chips. There's a lot of Jokers that give you money and give you plus molt and give you X molt, but not that many that give you chips. Most of the ones that do give you chips are commons, though, so maybe that's kind of nice. But they are not scaling. They're not scaling like the bus is and like Supernova is. If you want to get, let's say, the bus as big as, let's say, Square Joker. So Square Joker is 4 chips per hand, bus is 1 molt per hand. All you got to do is get times 4 molt. So the bus plus a times 4 molt constellation or times 4 molt hologram, that would be the same as a Square Joker. So it's not impossible to do plus molt and X molt in a normal gold stake game plan, but it's definitely more difficult, right? It's more difficult to, you don't know whether or not you're going to get those X molt Jokers. Normally when you are playing on gold stake, you're not guaranteed to get any X molt Jokers, and you don't need X molt Jokers. It's nice if you can get them, but you don't need them. And so, okay, Joker wise, it's slim pickings. What do we do instead? So what I suggest is, okay, you can get chips from planet cards. We've got Uranus gives you 20 chips. That's like my default. Okay, we'll just spam 2 pair. What's nice about it is it's spammable. You can play 2 pair a lot of times per round. And then also, because it's more cards, you get more enhancements, more bonus cards and foil cards and stuff like that. Or you can play straights. Straights, potentially a little bit dubious. Okay, can we actually consistently play straights every round? Maybe, sometimes not. But if you do get the straight, it's 30 chips per Saturn card. Is kind of a big deal. So even level 13 straights is not very big. We had the telescope, but we didn't actually get very many celestial packs. We did not find a blue seal, and usually, okay, that's the big payoff for playing straights, is you get the blue seals and you get the Saturn cards, and then your base level chips and molt are insane. But we didn't get that. What we got is just 12 Saturn cards, mostly from shopping rather than, you know, from overstock rather than from the celestial packs. And what we were able to do instead was we did the runner. I think even if the runner didn't show up, I still would have done straights. With the telescope, I still would have done straights. But very nice, of course, very lucky for us that the runner showed up. If the runner didn't show up, this run might have died. Or we might have been forced to do something else. Maybe something a little bit more uncomfortable. If you get something like Todd or Scary Face, then you want to go 2 pair instead, because you could do 2 pair face cards. That's 120 chips. You could do 2 pair odd cards. That's 120 chips. It doesn't scale in the traditional way, but you can re-trigger those Jokers. If you are able to get glass cards and steel cards, you kind of need about ×8 molt. So if we look here, 390 and 40, ×8 molt, that's 3 glass cards, by the way. ×8 molt, these would be roughly equal. And then it's not until you get to the ×16 molt, right? 4 glass cards. That's when your X molt actually starts to give you some benefit. So if you have re-triggerable X molt, if you have a Chad plus glass cards, that can be enough. If you don't get the Chad is common, but sometimes it shows up as perishable, sometimes it doesn't show up at all. And so if you don't get the Chad, then it is tough to win with molt. But what you're looking for is repeated X molt, possibly. Anyway, this is kind of my standard plasma deck run, building up the straights. Maybe runner, maybe square joker, maybe castle. I like. Take care, everyone.